We'll get started with our student athletes. We have with us Jordan Hawkins, Adama Sanogo, and Andre Jackson Jr. Raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you. If you have some questions for our student athletes, we'll start right here in the front.
Gavin Keefe from the London Day. This is for Andre. You guys have been kind of dreaming of this moment, and now that you've achieved this, what is it like?
It feels good, and it feels good. Definitely, we put in a lot of work to get here, and we had first-round exit the last 2 years. To start the season, they didn't have us in the top 25, so we got a lot to prove. We still got a chip on our shoulder, and we had a goal, and it was to make it to the Final Four, but more importantly, to win a national championship. So that's what we still pushing towards.
Right here.
John Titel from Hoops HD for Jordan. Gonzaga made 2 threes. You made 6. Was it just one of those things where you felt in the zone and everything was going in?
I seen the first one go in. I felt good. I was getting a lot of open looks, so I was letting it fly. I knew my teammates was going to do a great job giving me the ball, so all credit to them.
We're also now joined by UConn head coach Dan Hurley. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to make an opening statement?
Yeah, I just what a performance by the boys. I mean, to do what we did to a team of that caliber, a program of that caliber. Obviously, we were just playing at a super high level. But we're not. I don't think we're obviously surprised by the margin of victory, but not surprised about where we're going next because this is who we've been for a large part of the season.
Questions for Coach or any of the student athletes? All right, right here in the middle.
This is for kind of everyone, but throughout the game, you guys were, the energy was high with the coaches, with the staff. You were getting the crowd involved. So what is it like to go to war with like the whole University of UConn and staff and everyone?
You can feel the energy. Everybody is all in. We all in, and it's a family over here. So coaches, players, managers, GAs, we all family. Cheerleaders, everybody's a family. This UConn Nation showed up, so definitely feels great to be a part of this university and really be represented on this level.
Back here in the back, please.
Ben Golliver, Washington Post for Coach and Andre. In the first half, sorry, Coach and Andre, in the first half, they were kind of dropping off of you, and it seemed like maybe you guys were trying to find your rhythm early. But then you had a run of assists to your three-point shooters. Just how did you make that adjustment, and Coach, how did you unlock that as well?
Yeah, I mean, we've figured that out. That doesn't work anymore. To be honest with you, it's just coaching mistakes during the season where it just took me too long to get Andre to the places where he could still be one of the biggest impact players. In terms of winning or losing, there's not many players in the country that impact the game the way this guy does. So, once I just got better as a coach, and Andre, I wasn't putting him in positions to be successful. And since we've unlocked that code, he's been unbelievable.
Right here in the front.
Gavin Keefe from the London Day for Adama. Adama, you had a career high 6 assists. I think you had 5 in the first half.
Let's go, Adama.
Was that part of the game plan? Obviously, when they doubled you to look for the open man.
Yeah, definitely. Like going to a game, like I know they are like a plan for me on the post. So every time I saw them double team me, so I was like, all right, if you're gonna double team me, I'm going to fight my teammate, So that's why I was definitely ready for it because I know they had a game plan for me. So every time they double team, I was ready for it to pass the ball. Yeah.
Right here in the front.
Joe Ruda, Hartford Current. Jordan, you hit that step back towards the end, and you flexed your jersey, you flexed UConn across the front. Just what did that shot feel like to go in, and what does it mean to play for UConn?
Man, it means everything. I would like to thank Coach Hurley for giving me this opportunity and just being able to play in March Madness, Elite 8 games. Man, it's something you dream of, and my emotions just took all of me, and I just had to flex UConn because UConn's back. So.
Back.
All right.
Back like we never left.
I got you.
Jay Thomas, UNLV TV. This is for Coach Hurley. So Jordan is known for to be a volume shooter, but he's been a three-level scorer, especially throughout this tournament. And Andre has shown on defense that it's more than just offense. So what is it like to have players that are so versatile?
Yeah, I mean, they're NBA players. They're obviously, the two guys who have long NBA careers. When they're done at UConn, obviously they stylistically they play the game in two different ways, but the two of the most exciting wing players in the country. Jordan, right now Jordan is playing like a junior, like he's right. He's like at points maybe early in the year, middle of the year, he was still a young player, but he's playing like an upperclassman, and a high level draft pick. And and Andre's, Andre's one of the best all around players in the country in terms of impacting the game. And and Andre's an NBA high draft pick. So I could only screw it up when you're sitting next to three NBA players. Right? We shouldn't be going to the Final Four.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, Dan Walken, USA Today for Dan. As Jordan just mentioned, we're back. Was it easier or harder than you thought to get UConn back to the Final Four when you look at it in the big picture?
Yeah, harder, harder, and probably because like the history and tradition doesn't really. I mean, it helps you in recruiting. We sold it to these guys, right? We've done it here before. We could do it again, but I think it becomes, Dan, a little bit of a mental hurdle, especially like early rounds of NCAA tournament where you feel like maybe the burden of the history and tradition in first round games, maybe even second round games, or it also feels like when you're coaching at Rhode Island and Wagner, you're not always getting everyone's best shot every single night, and when you play or coach at UConn, you get the other team's best shot every single night. It is their Super Bowl. So the climb to get to this point has been real, and it's been more challenging than I thought.
Brian.
Brian Feldman, Adeline, Fox Sports Radio, Las Vegas. Coach, since the 2-point loss in the semifinals of the Big East tournament, you guys haven't had a close game in the NCAA tournament. What do you attribute the play of your team to this point?
Yeah, listen, the Big East, especially if you look at the top four in our league, it was the best top four, and even when Providence was playing really at a high level, it was the best top four, top five of any conference in the country, and it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't very close. So, people were seeing us for a second time, in some cases a third time. When you play us for the first time, and we're very unique with what we have with Adama and these two wings, and then you're looking at Klingon coming in at 7-2 and the shooting off the bench, and we're an elite defensive team. We're a top 5 offensive team, and we generally beat the other team up on the glass. And sometimes when people are seeing us for the first time, it's overwhelming.
Right here in the front.
Brian
Plus,
Shapiro.
the games get ref differently in the tournament too. Sometimes the Big East, I don't forget it.
Brian Shapiro, KSHP. Coach, it seems like there's going to be a lot more NCAA tournament games here in Vegas in the future. I just wanted to get your thoughts. It seems like Vegas is turning into a mecca of college basketball. What were your thoughts on the Sweet 16, this venue here, and playing these two games across the country in Las Vegas?
Awesome, right? I mean, the Strip, right? Bright lights, incredible arena, maybe the nicest arena, besides Gamble and the XL that we played in this year. So, just the crowds are awesome. The people were super friendly. Everyone treated us great, and just been an awesome trip.
All right, right over here.
Ryan Gilder, Starling Gray, Free Prezes for you, Coach. You were just talking a little bit about Las Vegas, but what makes Las Vegas a little bit different than playing anywhere else for a neutral site game?
Well, I think it was good for us because we were pretty comfortable here because we're all from the city, right? I mean, we were all city people, right? So we're very comfortable in like a city that's got a lot of life to it, and people got a lot of pop here. So we were, we liked it.
Okay, right here.
For Coach John Teitel from Hoops HD, there's a lot of great basketball families out there, like the Currys, the Barrys, the Drews. With a Hall of Fame father, a brother who won 2 titles, and now you and your son in the Final Four, do you think you belong at or near the top of that list?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really happy that that obviously to be able to enjoy this with my wife Andrea, and my sons Danny and Andrew obviously is a big part of the team and our spirit with that. And my dad is a patriarch of our whole basketball family. My dad is one of the great coaches of his generation. If he coached in college and made that decision or went to the NBA, you'd be talking about him just like the way you talk about Coach K and all the great coaches of all time. So this thing all started with my dad. And we're just blessed that we grew up in Jersey City and found basketball and had a dad that pushed us. And I'm just proud that he's been able to travel with us, and now I get to take my dad to a Final Four.
Let's go back here in the back.
Rob Doster, Field of 68 for Andre. Early on this season, you guys kind of struggled a little bit when teams didn't want to guard you on the perimeter. Gonzaga tried to do that tonight. You almost had a triple-double. What changed now versus what you were doing earlier on this year?
I think early on I was taking it personal a lot and looking at it like disrespect and trying to prove them wrong. I'm a shooter or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to play the game to my strengths and play to win. So Coach taught me, how to find different spots on the court, that short corner, and then also send some screens and popping and slipping and just learn how to play the game in a whole new way that's opened up and unlocked a whole new part of my game that I now watch people like Draymond Green do stuff like that as well. So now I learned how to really counter whatever they do. So I like that.
All right, we're going to take a couple of Zoom questions here. We're going to start with Christopher Heidel.
Hey, this is Chris Heidel from Herberton Radio in Baltimore. This is a question for Jordan. Jordan, how does it feel representing the state of Maryland in the Final Four and the Capital Beltway and Gaithersburg and where you came from?
Capital's Annapolis, but it's amazing to play for Maryland. Like I said before, a lot of guys from Gaithersburg don't get this opportunity to play and play in the games like this where I'm from. So it's a blessing. I gotta thank these guys. It's all credit to these guys. So yeah.
Another one on Zoom from Dan Tortora.
Dan Tortora, Wake Up Call, DT.com. Coach, at the end of the game, obviously you spent some time with your family on the court, and this family affair throughout this entire season has been truly special for you in a lot of different ways. What were some of the things that you got to kind of reflect upon with your parents there on the court after the game?
Basketball's been a huge part of our lives because obviously my dad and what my dad taught me and my brother is that your basketball program is your family. Like we're all family. These guys are as big a part of my family as anyone in my family. So it was great to enjoy. This group is a great group. I love coaching this team. I've gotten emotional. Andre saw me crying before the game, I think, right in there, because I just can't think about coaching this group for the last time. It makes me sad. And sorry for overpronouncing that A there, but it's just an incredible group of guys to coach. The additions that we brought in, right? Joey Cal, and Naheem, and getting Tristan back to Texas, right? To the El Paso guy gets back, Tinu gets back. It's just it's a family affair, both with my family and we're all family.
Any final questions? Coach, congratulations. Good
Let's
luck
go.
to all of you guys
Let's go,
next
baby.
week.
Let's go, Coach.